How's it going? Welcome back to the daily grind. So one of his other guys came out here to start this job, and then they said they couldn't do it. And they said the wood was defective. They took it up and looked at it and blah, 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 blah. And ordered a whole bunch more of the same flooring, and store owner actually had me put some of the defective stuff. He said, see if you can put this together. We was down at the warehouse, so I put it together, and it's like, yeah. Honestly, I didn't see nothing wrong with it, and I hear lots of good things about this stuff. It's redwood and Mohawk, so I was like, what I put down worked really good. But anyway, we are here to tear up what the first guy started and start the install ourselves. So let's turn around and see what we're getting into. Okay, so this is what the gentleman started right here. I want to point a couple things out. I know everybody don't undercut because they don't have the tools to do it, but with a laminate flooring, I just honestly don't see how this is ever going to fly with expansion, with it being that tight. And also, I'm not trying to honestly, I'm blown away at this. Absolutely blown away. This guy that's doing this does like the majority of the store's hardwood installs or solid surface installs rather, because he's real good at this stuff. Just blown away. Anyway, all this is coming out. Everything here is coming out, which I can clearly see that it needs to come out. I was thinking at first that there was zero prep done, but then when I got over here, I could see that it has been edged a little bit, so there still is definitely a hump right there though, so we're gonna have to take all this up anyway. So we're gonna prep this out right. I'm not gonna leave all this mess down. We're gonna prep it out right, do it like it's supposed to be done. I hate seeing stuff like this. It really makes it hard to talk good and just have a positive attitude toward people that are at the store that are supposed to be excellent installers, and then you come behind them and see work like this. Just absolutely blows me away. I don't like this at all. I don't like seeing stuff like this. This guy went up there and showed me the base and everything he's using to cover expansion and stuff like that. We've got a 3/4 base going on, no shoe molding, and around the cabinets we have this going down. So we got plenty of room for expansion. But so tight that it marks the cabinet. And looky here, how tight that is. You might get a dime in there. And then let's follow that board all the way down. Where's this? All the way touching on this end. It's a good thing that we are out here to tear this up now before it got too far gone, because this floor would definitely fail in just a matter of time if it was left and completely installed like this. Just absolutely devastating. I can't believe it. might as well have a super high joint in your subfloor if you're going to overlap the pad. Okay, so giving the guy the benefit of the doubt, I seen this and I thought, well, maybe he just ain't got this prepped yet because he ain't started installing here yet. And then I started getting my sander hooked up and everything, and I noticed that had been sanded down, that had been sanded down, that had been sanded down, and that had been sanded down. So I thought, well, okay, he must have already went through the house and got what he thought was not gonna fly and worked on it. Even these parts that are sanded, yeah, there ain't no lip, but it's a huge hump right there. Actually, there is a lip. And I thought, well, let me look what we got going on over here. Maybe I'm just being critical. So we can got all this out of the way now. Let's look at what he already had installed here. Zero prep. Stapled down pad. Zero prep. I didn't realize he had that pad stapled down until I just pulled it up there. Right there that he dealt with. Again, I got a lot of respect for this guy that installed this, and I hate seeing stuff like this on people that you hold in high esteem. It's just crushing. Absolutely sucks. Much better. Now that's a floor you can cover up and feel good about. Okay, so we just about ready to run here. We actually are ready to go. What I did, I got me a mark here. Let me show you exactly how I got my mark. So I did, I'm going to say, wow, that looks awful crazy. I'm off my mark right there, but that's okay. I'm going to show you. This is just a reference mark. That's not an actual mark to go by. But anyway, look right here. Well, you can't see one. You can definitely see that one. I did that one right there, and I did another one. My line must be right on top of this other one. But anyway, I did one about 1.5 feet apart. I did one here and then another one down here. Just enough to get me a line over to here, which was right there. That way I could measure from here to there, from this wall, from this point to that wall. Then I could take that measurement and go down here to there. I would know how far to measure off that wall. Then, obviously, I measured when I got this point right there. I measured from the wall to my point, and then I measured from the wall, which was 96 inches, 8 foot exactly. So from there up here, 96 and 96 inches, 8 foot. So there, and then I got my mark, which was 11.5, all the way down there, 11.5 there. So then I was able to pull the chalk line from there all the way down to here. Let me back up here and show you what I'm talking about. So I was able to pull a chalk line now from my 2 long points here and there. That's a straight line from this corner of the house all the way down to this corner of the house. Now the center of this, you did see bow in a little bit, but long point to long point is the straightest reference, and that's going to be the one that I go off of. So I took that line here, right there, and transferred it up right here with enough to trim about a 1/2 inch off my first plank. That way I could have enough to scribe to and get it all right. I've got those put together, scribed, cut, fixing to now put pad down and drop my spacers in there, 3/8 of an inch. This is the first time I've installed this product, so I did take, and obviously, this is a really good thing to do anytime you're dealing with a new product you haven't dealt with. I just double checked expansion, which is 3/8, and how far apart to put the seams. And where was it at? 6 inches, wherever that was at. I seen it just a while ago. But anyway, it says to keep your seams 6 inches apart, which is just pretty much a no-brainer. Right there, 6 inches. And then expansion, down here, it says it a whole bunch. 3/8, 3/8, 3/8. It says 3/8 all over right there. Allow 3/8 expansion around pipes and other fixed objects. So, you kind of know what to do, but dealing with a new product, it's always a good idea just to check what that specific product says for recommendations. That way you're covered and you don't get yourself into trouble. All right, it is about 4 o'clock. Fixing to call it a day and get outy bowdy. I got one more stop to make on the way home and put up a little bit of co-base. Actually about 200 feet or something like that. So still got another little job to do on the way home. But anyway, we will turn around and see what's going on, how much we got done. So we got a decent little start over here. We got everything started where we can run out tomorrow. We got almost two rows of pad covered up there. I didn't notice that until I got up. I don't like that. There's 2 boards in between them, but I still don't like that. But gummit, we'll keep an eye on that for sure. But anyway, we got everything completely ready. All the sanding is done. It's cleaned and vacuumed and blah, 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 blah. Tomorrow when we come back and before we put more pad down, obviously we will run the vacuum over this one more time just to make sure every time before we put down a row of pad, we always sweep it. We don't never just work on the floor and then put down pad. Before we do it, we always sweep or vacuum where we put pad down right before we put it down, just to make sure the floor is nice and clean. We don't trust. Like right now, it's all cleaned up. If I was going to put another run of pad down right there, right now even, I would go ahead and vacuum it because we have them working on this area, in and out with the saw. The saw was out here, so in and out with the saw and tracking and such like that. We got this all cut, ready. Turned out really nice. Got a nice fit on that. Real happy with the way this one turned out. Can't wait to see it all complete. The owner was, when I told him we was going to undercut it, he's like, yeah, just cut it tight to the brick and we'll put quarter round around it or something. I was like, yeah, we don't want to do that. We'll undercut it or whatever. But anyway, you can see how far it can go under there. So we got a good 3/4 of an inch under there. So if we just kind of split the difference and put it underneath there, 1/4 inch, we're going to be all good to go. Plenty of expansion and room for contraction. A lot of people don't really think about that. You cannot. If this says 3/8, then it needs to be 3/8. It don't need to be 5/8 or anything like that. A lot of people allow for swelling, but the thing about this stuff is, and this is for all the flooring that expands and contracts. It expands and contracts. So you gotta allow for contraction also. A lot of people just give it room to grow and they get big expansion and stuff. The stuff will also shrink. So if you come out and it's just barely covering with the 1/4 round and it shrinks, you're gonna have problems. You guys got to split the difference on that, okay? If it says 3/8, keep it under a half. Don't exceed a half, okay? Because if it does draw up, it's gonna pull out from under the quarter round, okay? Anyway, first time dealing with the Revwood. Seems like a really good product. It's really tight fitting product. And so far I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the way it's going together and with the way it's looking. It looks real nice. So that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Daily Grind. Until tomorrow, FBSB's out.